Welcome to The Real Build. I'm your host, Bill Ryman, your broker builder. And today I have somebody coming from Los Angeles, California. She is a premier closet designer, author, and international style consultant. She helps people create the closet of their dreams and cultivate their authentic style. She is known for her keen sense of fashion, phenomenal talent, her organization, and amazing eye for detail. She has an awesome gift for listening to her clients, tapping into her incredible design and organizational skills, and delivering excellence. Taiece Lanier, welcome to The Real Build. How you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for the amazing intro. I sound so important.
Yeah, you are very important. And like I said before we started recording, I am really excited to have you on because obviously you're doing custom closet design, which is a very important factor. And me being in the custom home business, I know how important it is as far as organization and to the customer too. So I'm excited to get into this a little bit with you today. So thank you for coming on. Um,
Thank you for having me.
so, what I always like to get started with, just talking about your background. So, who is Taiece Lanier?
Ooh, that's a loaded question with a lot of layers. But, but
Let's
we'll just
hear it.
start with my background. I'm originally from Los Angeles. That's where I grew up. I was raised. And I moved to Miami in my 20s, and I went to college at Miami International University of Art and Design. And I took fashion and design there. And after I finished college, I did fashion visual merchandising for department stores like
Oh,
Macy's and
nice.
Saks. And I also was a fashion coordinator. So I used to work for different high-end fashion brands. And what I would do is I would go to the high-end department stores and do seminars and trainings to all the employees on how the brand wanted to be represented and what were the features of the new collections and how we wanted everything set up on the floor. So you can see that how that kind of ties into organizing because you have to have the floor coordinated and organized at all times. So I did that, and when I was working at Saks, I started helping clients, and then I was doing a little personal shopping on the side. And that's how I became in clients' closets. And I would shop for them for events and special events and things. And when I come and drop off clothes, I start organizing because that's what I like to do. It's part of me. And I used to say, why is the closet still, it looks like it's not organized, even though I'm trying, but it's too much stuff to fit in the space. And what she has didn't work with the closet she had. So I asked my client, I was like, let's just see if we can get a closet designer to come out here and design a space. Let's see if we can come up with a better solution so you can fit your stuff. And I reached out to a closet design company. They came out, we did a quote, kind of worked together, and we built an amazing closet. And from then on, I had a light bulb like, oh, I could do this as a business. Like, I'm already in fashion, I love organizing, and I can actually offer design as well. So that's kind of how the idea of Closet Editors came about.
I mean, I love it too, because you obviously, like a lot of people that have been on my show, there was always something that kind of led to where you are today. But I mean, if I had to guess too, you're very organized with your home too. I can see behind you as well.
Yeah.
Everything looks nice and
He
clean,
said
which is a
very clean and neat. I don't want any clutter.
which is a very good thing too. So and I mean it's a great thing and a great attribute to have as and especially in business in general. But you utilizing your experiences and everything too, and starting the closet design company that you did. I mean. I can only imagine, it's probably taken off quite a bit. So,
Yeah, it's been very, very successful. I've definitely, I'm happy I got into the whole space of being like the one-stop shop to all things closet. I feel like it kind of separates me from other designers. So it's just really, yeah, I feel like because I have the fashion knowledge, the style knowledge, the organizing, and I can design, I can pretty much take care of anything in your space. So it's been really a great journey. Ups and downs, but it's been as usual with
yeah.
entrepreneurship, there's ups and downs, but overall, I say it's been a great journey.
Yeah, and you learn from those ups and downs too, which
Yeah.
is maybe 10 times better too as well. So,
Yeah.
I want to discuss your business a little bit because obviously, like I said, it's so important, especially in the build in general too. I mean, even if somebody's considering remodeling or doing, just doing a restructure of their closet in general, um, let's go into, so why the closet design space? Why not overall interior design? I've had past interior designers on, but why did you just choose that niche? Let's go into that a little bit more.
I think the niche came from me being in the fashion field and
Okay.
being more associated with closets because of style and fashion and wanting to dress women. Kind of the personal shopping was what I was dressing women,
Gotcha.
telling them what to kind of edit and you don't need this anymore. This doesn't fit your style anymore. So I think it came from that reason why the closet was more appealing to me than just being an interior designer, period. I kind of
Yeah.
want to function on helping people have the right clothes in their closets so they show up and look confident in the world, along with having it organized and functional so they can, give them clarity and they're not stressed out with getting dressed. So I think that's why I kind of honed in on closet, and it just kind of, that's where my happy place was.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
makes sense. And then, I mean, you're giving, like you said, you're giving people confidence too. I mean, everything's organized. I'm hiring you once I want to do I built my own closet here, but once I get to the higher end closet level, like some of the stuff you're doing is phenomenal too. It makes a big difference in the organization too, which we're going to get into as well. The one thing too, though, let's talk about your process a little bit. You start, I was looking through your website and everything. You start with kind of a closet strategy session. So what does this consist of?
Okay, so the closet strategy session is actually something I designed to do virtual for
Okay.
people that I couldn't reach, and I can help you kind of create a goal and a plan to do your own closet. This is kind of
Okay.
came about during the whole COVID. So how I normally do the process for closets, kind of a 4-step process. So it's the consultation, whether
Mhm.
it's virtually or in person. If it's virtual, I will need you to send me the designs if you don't feel comfortable because of COVID going in your home. So you would send me the measurements, or I would go to your home, consult you, take your measurements. Then we go to design phase. So I bring up a 3D, picture of your design, and I sit with you and we go through edits and decide what to keep, what to, what doesn't go. And once the customer's like, I'm ready, then it goes to prepare stage. So at this stage,
Okay.
we need to take out maybe the old closet, repaint, some of those areas. If you're getting lights in, you got to take certain sockets out, get an electrician in to do certain wiring for the lights to work and everything. So all that preparation. We also offer like rolling racks and boxes for people to take their stuff out while their closet's getting installed. So all that has to be done. And then the last
Right,
thing, of
yeah.
course, is the installation day when you actually install the closet. And then I go out and have a party with you because I'm so excited on your new space. I bring a bottle of champagne and we celebrate your space.
And drink in the closet, yeah.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. In like some of the stuff, there's so many different things. What people don't, a lot of people don't understand, is there is a lot of different elements you can add to a closet for the organization part of it too. And you can have a closet can basically eliminate a lot of the furniture you need in a bedroom too, which we're kind of seeing in interior design in general. Less is more, and
Yeah.
how in home building as well, where you don't have dressers everywhere and clothes all in these dressers and so on. And everything's just more clean and less cleaning, I should say, less
Yes.
maintenance. And everything is there, which makes sense. I mean, you go into a closet, you get dressed, you change, everything should be right there. Your watches, all that kind of stuff too. And some of the stuff you're doing, I've looked into it, is pretty phenomenal too. And your work is so let's you also do something, intensive training or closet intensive training. Explain that a little bit as well.
Yeah, so how this came about, someone DM me and they were like, I'm an organizer, but I'm doing it as a hobby and I want to turn it into a business. Can you help me?
Okay.
So I was thinking, well, I never really trained someone to turn this into a business, but I can. I have enough experience and knowledge that I can come up with, a training course
All
and
right,
do
yeah.
something for you. So I said, sure. She was kind of adamant, like, I really like your work. I really like what you're doing. I really want to hear from you. I want your tips, your guidance on how to make my organizing business structured so I can really, take off. And I said, okay. And I did it. And she loved it and gave me great reviews. So then I came up with the whole structure. And then I now offer that class for people who are, they're doing organizing for fun, but maybe they need help like learn how to do the business license and how to network with the right people. And she wanted to start like a luxury business as well. So she's like, how do you get luxury clients? How do you, show up to them, and how do you get them to be interested in what you're doing? So that really like showed me that there's a market for that. And I guess through COVID, people are learning like new skill sets and trying new things. So I created that course for that.
It's smart entrepreneur right there. Look at you. I mean, that's you're
We see entrepreneurs, we see opportunity, and then we feel the need.
yeah, and you branch out and you do. I mean, because you're good at all this stuff, so why not help other people? But to give your skills, you're teaching them, and obviously starting a business out of it. It's smart too, and then also with people
Yeah.
because of COVID, doing what you're doing from a distance and helping people organize and get. Because when you're organized too, I mean, if you look at my desk over here, I got to get organized. But when that's because I've been doing sports card investing, stuff like that. So I got all these cards over here. And it's like when you get all that organized, you get that you're happier. You get a better feeling too, to where it's just it's you feel better when your house is clean, everything's in place, it's structured, and that's what you're doing with
So true.
closets too.
Yeah, that's the big point. I think it's not always about having the beautiful, walk-in closet. It's also about mindset and having a space that you can feel good, that you're not stressed out every morning. You can imagine how much time it takes you if all your shoes are on the floor, your clothes are all crazy, and you're trying to get dressed. It's just like you're starting your day off stressful. Like,
Yeah.
why are you doing this? Like let's start off like pick the outfit out the night before. Everything's color coordinated. So if you're going to wear black, you pick your black pants, your black shirt. It's all timeless, seamless, 1, 2, 3.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of times people you get so used to the hustle bustle. And I think with COVID, it's allowed us to slow down. And now people are taking the time needed to get these spaces organized, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, and going off what you said too, if you start your day on a strong note, you're more than likely going to have a great day too. So where's that day usually start? I mean, you're getting up and you're going to get something out of the closet, you know.
Right.
So if that closet's unorganized and you're looking at an unorganized mess, well, that's not a good start, and that's a bump in the road on that day, and it could end up even worse. So, law of
Yes.
attraction. It's just it's such a key thing, and that's why I was so excited to have you on too. I want to talk a little bit more about COVID too. How has that affected your business? How are you making shifts? How are you making changes? Has it made business better for you? What are you seeing with the pandemic?
Yeah. With COVID in the beginning, I was like, okay, what's about to happen? Because I think it was a shock for everyone.
Everybody was, yeah.
And then I was like, my business is really about going to the home, consulting the client,
Mhm.
measuring the space, having that relationship building during the process. And now, what am I going to do? Because I really wasn't doing virtual anything at that time. I was always just in someone's home or. So I said, okay, so what else can I do to help people virtually? So it definitely allowed me to think outside the box. And then that's how I came up with the strategy session to help people get
Mhm.
organized. And then I also came up with a Zoom organizing class where I have like 7 to 10 people on, and I go step by step on how to organize your closet at home yourself. So you're on a Zoom with other women, other people that want to get organized. So you have that support system around you, and it just becomes a fun time, and it's not boring. Some people think organizing is boring. So I was just trying to think. I was just trying to think of how to make it fun where no, organizing matters. This is the thing, like this is the new trend. You got to make it sound
Yeah.
trendy. Like this is what we
Yeah.
need to do. So I started that. So I started my Zoom organizing class, my closet strategy class. And then it started opening up and we start getting a better on the COVID, and it kind of started loosening up a little bit. And then people just started wanting to do home improvement. I don't know if you noticed, but now people want a place that they can be at and be relaxed and
Mhm.
love their environment. So now they're doing all these home improvements. Like,
Mhm.
so now business is getting a lot better now, and people are moving to different places to get bigger homes for less amounts of money. So, and it's a lot of houses being sold. So it's really good now. I think it's even better now because people are like, I want my home to be somewhere I can spend a lot of time with because I'm not out like I used to be. So let's
Mhm.
make it more beautiful and organized and, as ever. So yeah, so the beginning was definitely challenging, but just having to think outside the box of like how to pivot. And I think when you're an entrepreneur, that's kind of how you're
Yeah.
built anyway. You're built to pivot. So at the time, I just, I just took a pivot. Like, what else can I do?
And that's
What
what, and
else? I'm not going to
that's
just give up my whole career. So we're going to have to figure this out.
well, and that's what separates you from, a lot of people too, is you being an entrepreneur, you do have to pivot too. And COVID was bad, obviously, yes, but it had a lot of good to it for business. It was bad to a lot of businesses in a lot of ways. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to say it was a good thing, but it was for certain businesses too. It made people have to make that pivot and figure out new ways to produce within their companies too, which in the long run is going to benefit them anyway. Like you, look at yourself, you've kind of branched into different opportunities that you weren't doing necessarily before. So now you have your regular business that you started, and then you have three other businesses off of that too. And
Mhm.
which is great. And a lot of people, we at the beginning of it too, I was the same way. We all were like, okay, what's going to go on? Is this market going to completely crash?
Yes.
Or what's going on here? And then all of a sudden now Florida, it's like you can't find property. Everybody's wanting to build a house. They're all wanting to settle here. It's been crazy, and it still is. The inventory's so low that it's this supply and demand type deal. And your benefit too is that you're fun, you're energetic too, so you can get on a Zoom call and make organization fun too, because when you do say organization, people are like, I gotta organize, I gotta put, but you're making it fun because of
Right.
your personality. Just by having you on, you have a great personality, and you're making people enjoy the time that they have too. And that's that shift too. I mean, people are buying less expensive houses, and they're settling where they are now. They're saying, okay, maybe I don't need this, and I can go here, I can move there. And it's just
Mhm.
going to benefit you as well, in your business too. And I've had past people on this podcast, that from California, and they said a lot of people are kind of wanting their own little separate woman caves or man caves or workout rooms, and they're starting to do that there. And one guy's
Mhm.
developing sheds for the backyards of in California there too, and for people to have their own quiet spaces because their kids are at home, doing homeschool and
Yeah,
everything. That's a pivot though. That's a shift. That's what he
for
did.
sure.
So it's had its positives too, for sure. And you definitely think outside the box. That's what you had to do, and you're having success with it. So good for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I want to talk about the design you were doing. I mean, like, let's talk a little bit more about this. Like, what are the must-haves in a custom closet? What are you seeing?
Okay, so the must-haves that you have to have in any closet, you have to have long hanging for your long coats and dresses. You have to have double hanging because you need a rack for your pants and then your shirts and then your pants. You have to have drawers. If this is the custom, like we're doing a full build. If
Mm.
the space is very small, then we can eliminate the drawers. But in a normal situation, I would always put drawers and always put shelves because the shelves are so versatile. You can use those for handbags, folded sweaters, shoes, so many things for shelving. And when you normally go to a closet, you get one rack. That's it. Like you get one pole and you get a shelf on the top and you have all these clothes and you're looking like this is never going to happen.
Yeah, yeah. Gonna pull that
So in
shelf
my closet,
down.
I definitely have to have that. I love to put lighting because lighting just helps you see the space so much better. You can actually see your items. Those dark corners, it kind of gives spotlight on those corners. So I would definitely say lighting is one of the things I love to use. And also ballet rods. Like they are such a small thing for your closet, but they're so impactful and useful because you can put like your clothes, your outfit for the next day on it, pull it out. You can put your dry cleaning on it before you get ready to change the hanger out because you can't put wire hangers in your closet. You have to use regular hangers. So
I
wire
saw
hangers
that.
only for the cleaners and they need to be thrown away. Don't put your
I
wire
saw
hangers in your
that in one of
closet.
your videos. I was gonna ask you about that too.
Yeah, no wire hangers. So definitely, I would say those are my basic things that I would want to put in every closet. And then you have other bells and whistles. You can add so many other accessories as well.
Okay. Well, what about like, what are you seeing? And I was going to ask you about the wire hanger thing because I did see one of your YouTube videos about absolutely no wire hangers too. So
Oh
everybody
my
out
God, you
there,
saw my video? Yeah, I'm
yeah,
very adamant about
Yeah,
that.
do not use wire hangers, please.
Please don't. It's like, no, no, no. It's just like the worst thing I could do. When I go in client's closet and they have wire hangers, I'm like, why do we have these in here?
So what do you recommend for hangers though, if they had to?
So I recommend the velvet hangers because
Okay.
they're thinner and you can hold more clothes on it. If you have a big closet, you can go with the wood, but they're a little thicker, so you're going to get less pieces in your closet with the wood hangers. But I generally like to go for the thin velvet hangers because you can use them for pants and shirts, and they just hang very well in your closet. Just take up the least amount of space. So
Mhm.
I would say to use, and you can get those from anywhere, from like Target or Ross or Amazon, or you can find these hangers anywhere.
Well, and see, going off of that too, I mean, you've said each closet is designed kind of to maximize space, increase functionality, and encourage clutter-free living. So, how can we do this? Let's talk about this more. What are you doing? I mean, you brushed on kind of the design that you're seeing more, but let's talk about how they can maximize space, different options, different things.
Okay, so in a custom closet, the great thing about custom is you can really take advantage of your ceiling heights
Mhm.
in your corners. So just think about it. If you have a tall ceiling height and you normally go in your closet, it's just the one little pole. We can do like triple hang, like all the way up
Okay.
to the ceiling, and then have a pole where you pull it down when you need it and just pull it back up. So you're able to actually utilize your whole ceiling space, no matter how tall it is. Your corners that normally don't get utilized, we can put shelving in those corners. So you're able to utilize that as well in your closet. So that's like helping you like maximize the space. If you're not looking for custom and you're just looking for some organizing solutions just to kind of help your space feel better, look better, and you're on a budget, I would say the first thing is take out those hangers and get all matching hangers, all matching. Not, it can't have one pink, one black, one white. No, all matching hangers. That'd be the first thing you do. Just take them all out. Because this way, not only does it look better, but it actually your clothes hang better and you save space. So it's like it's so good, and it's gonna transform the look and the feel immediately. So change out your hangers first of all, then get some baskets. So for the top of your closet where you have all those like sweaters hanging off of it and just miscellaneous stuff all on top of your closet, if you just get some nice bins, you can put your sweaters in your bins, your handbags in your bins. So all of a sudden the top of your closet is uniform and neat. And these are the type of things you can all get from Amazon, really, like all these items, and they're so reasonable in price. Also, I would say drawer dividers. I know it's a lot of time in your drawers, all your stuff is just piled on top of each other and you're like scrambling through drawers all the time. So if you get drawer dividers, you can have everything neatly in their sections and you can see everything clearly. So when you pull your drawer out, you're not stressed out like throwing things like this trying to find something, like you want
Mhm.
everything to be like
Sounds like
streamlined.
me.
These are my socks, these are my underwear, this is my t-shirt, these are my gym clothes. So I think that that's like a great way to like a starter kit to a smaller closet. You're on a budget, you're not ready to invest, but you want to see some change in your closet today. Like, where do I start today to make my closet look better? I would say those three things: hangers, storage bins, and inserts for your drawers would be my like, starter package. Yes.
And I mean, that's great too, because I was actually going to ask you as far as inexpensive ways too. If somebody wasn't on a budget, what they can do, if they didn't have the budget to do a custom closet, what things could they do too? And there are a lot of options. I mean, you can even go on Amazon, you can go to Lowe's, you can go to Home Depot and find some shelves you can put in there, or just inexpensive things too
Mhm.
to add to a closet so you don't just have a rod going across with a shelf that has a million
Right.
clothes on it with wire hangers. That's going to probably pull the shelf down. So
Yeah, and if you want to save money, even with custom closets, using drawers outside of the closet, so having like a dresser instead of putting drawers, because kind of
Mhm.
drawers and cabinetry are kind of the more expensive
Yeah.
materials. So you can just do more hanging and shelving inside the closet, put your drawer outside the closet, and then don't do floor mounting, do wall mounting. So it's not all the way to the floor, so you're not paying the extra cost to get it all the way to the floor. It kind of stops right at the baseboards, basically the design. So that'll kind of
Mhm.
save you money as well if you're looking for if you just really want something custom.
Yeah, great tips. And also Wayfair can be your best friend too, right?
Yes. Yes. Wayfair. Yeah. There's so many options out there. Like there's so many even built-ins that even IKEA has some kind of built-in already kind of closet that you can just kind of take it and just put it in the space that's already done. You know, there's like so many options.
Just make
Yeah.
sure you measure before you do it too.
Yes, make sure you measure your space always. Take the measurements to whatever store you're going to, and so they'll help you find the proper solution for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about your project management a little bit. I always like to brush on this too because everybody on my show, they specialize in really taking care of the customer, the client, and so on. Let's talk about your management and communication side of things. So, how are you implementing this when you work with clients throughout your process?
Yeah, so after the client actually purchases a deposit, gives a deposit, we then schedule installation. So I work with the installation team and my
Okay.
client to see when the best date for them to do it. And then once it's set, the client also has direct contact with the installation team if they need to change something, change a date or something right away. They can just contact them directly, or they can contact me because I definitely handle the project all the way through installation. So if they could
Okay.
say if they called the installation department, they didn't answer, then I tell them to call me so I can find out what the situation or change or anything. So yeah, I definitely work really close with installation, finding out to make sure everything's properly done, calling my client ahead of time, like, is everything been removed? Is things painted over? All the outlets ready? Like really just touching base. And then if the installation department goes and something's not right, we're all always in the same loop
Yeah.
together, because we work together, yeah, to make sure that the client is a seamless process. And I normally work with really great companies that have installers that have been doing this for like over 20 years. So they're really good at what they do. They
Mhm.
know about communication. So that's why it's important to pair yourself with good companies that have quality work and
Oh yeah.
quality installers. Because you can get with a company, like, I don't know, you've seen some closet companies, or you look at the reviews and they go, oh, the installation was horrible, and they just start complaining. So it's good, like, when you really look at reviews and really deal with people that are good in installing for sure.
Dealing with a lot of new builds? Are you dealing with a lot of renovation stuff? Are you just kind of going in onto houses that are existing? What are you doing more of?
I've been doing more of existing houses
Okay.
lately that just want to redesign their closet.
Gotcha.
Yeah, before COVID, I felt like I was doing a lot of newer builds. Like I was going there working with the contractor, doing the measurements while just the baseboard and stuff, like right
Yeah.
before they even put the drywall in, I was going in to do it. But I feel like after COVID, it's a house already there and I just want to redesign the space.
Mhm.
At this point, yeah, I'm doing a lot of redesigns
And
right
make
now.
it operate better for
Make
themselves
it,
and
yeah, just make it functional, operate better for them, because a lot of them just have the one bar. Like most houses just, well, I mean, now I think the newer, they're starting to kind of put in, maybe, I don't know. That's what you build, so you probably know better. But I've noticed, like, houses on the market, sometimes they do already have a custom build, but I'm not sure if the builders build it like that, or did they have a custom closet company and come out and build it like that. I'm not sure how, if builders are just building, houses already with the custom closet in it.
yeah,
So,
it's the extent of the project basically to it's what the customer wants. Like
right,
we've worked with California Closets on maybe the higher end versus
exactly. Yeah,
we have a company that'll put in some closet made stuff, but it's all what they want to pay to put in. Obviously, California Closet's going to be a little more custom made, but then
exactly.
when we hire somebody like yourself, that's going to be even more custom because the sky's the limit of what they can do with you. And I'm sure
Right.
you draw everything out. Do you have, yeah, so they can
Yes.
see actually what it's going to be and so
What it's
on,
going to be.
which is
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So I think, yeah, so I think a lot of people are getting, I think redesigns, that's what I'm getting most of lately.
okay.
And even small closets too. Even they're not all the big, taking up a whole room. I'm getting like reach-ins, smaller
I
kids'
was going
room
to ask you
reach-ins.
that.
Yeah, it's not all like someone that's redesigning their whole room and turning it into a dressing room. Sometimes it's just smaller closets too, that they just want a custom look in it. They have a nice home, they just want it to still look custom in
What
their
can you
space.
do to a smaller closet, going off of that? What can you do to a smaller closet to make it have more of a custom look too? Let's do, maybe if you're on a budget or if you're not, maybe you just want to have organization within a smaller closet. What are some of the things you're seeing with that?
Yeah, so depending on the space, it kind of all depends on the size, but
Mhm.
I definitely like to do double hang because that's always going to double
Mhm.
your space. So that's what I always do. And I try it in a smaller closet, probably won't do drawers because it'll take up too much space. I probably do more shelving, and they can use bins and put things in bins, and then they can put their shoes in there. So I would do more double hang, a shelving for bins and shoes, and then of course a top shelf for like higher stuff that they want to put up top. For a small, yeah, in smaller closets, I normally don't put drawers at all. It's just not enough space, and they're just trying to really, they're trying to utilize the hanging. That's the purpose. They want a lot of hanging space.
And in smaller closets, you're more referring to something with like bifold closet doors versus something that would open up and walk in, correct?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Kind of like the sliding doors, the reach in. Yeah. Yeah. That's all.
It's interesting. I mean, because you don't have a lot of space, but to have somebody like yourself come in and utilize a space like that is so important because a lot of people don't think about that, to be honest with you, too. Because if you have a small space and you can turn it into, it's not you're turning into it a larger space, but in kind of a degree you are because you're able to store more in that space that was just a hanging rod before or
Right.
wire shelving is what you see in a lot of those bifold
Yeah.
closet doors too. So it's smart. It really is.
Yeah, you're definitely getting more space for sure. Even though you're not, like you said, you're not expanding the closet, but you're definitely expanding the space inside of it. Like you're doubling it basically. Especially if you put double hang, you already double your space already. So
exactly. That's awesome. As far as like design trends too, let's go back to the larger closets. Some of these larger ones, some of these closets that I've seen are the size of bedrooms. So what are you what are you doing as far as trends? Different things you're doing inside of them, colors, all that kind of stuff, styles. What are you seeing?
Yeah. So a lot of the closets now, people are starting to want two-tone cabinetry. So a dark wood and then maybe a lighter wood for the drawer fronts so they can have that two-tone color in their closet. That's like been a big trend that they're doing. As far as the space, a lot of people are doing, like you said, the whole rooms now. So I think in a trend going forward, they're going to have a lot of like people are going to be doing their whole rooms as a dressing room. Like women want a dressing room. We want to do our makeup in the closet. We want to lounge in the closet. We want to get our clothes out the closet. So I feel like that's going to be a big trend going forward that people are going to utilize one of their rooms in their home for a complete complete dressing room, basically. Not even a closet, it's a dressing room at that point because you have your ottomans, because we put ottomans down. You have your chandeliers, like these are all your rugs. You're really making the space like your own, But so I think that's going to be a big trend using, turning your rooms into dressing rooms. I think the two-tone color cabinetry is something that people are getting into now. I didn't used to really do that. I used to just do all one color, but I'm noticing people want different color panels and they're even doing like wrapping around like doors. Like if you have a custom closet door, they want to put a painting and kind of wrap the door in like paintings, like so it can look very custom and like unique. Yeah. So people are really thinking out of the box when they come to you. They're having their Pinterest ideas and the ideas. Well, can you do this? And can you do that? You're like, okay, we're gonna work it out. Let me see what I can do. Exactly. Like, yeah, they're coming up with a lot of ideas now. So glass is a big trend now. Everyone wants the glass doors. They love enclosing their closets. A lot of times people don't want their clothes to hang out anymore, so they want cabinetry around the clothes. And then it's just glass. So when you walk in, all you see is mirrors, like all around. And then you have, so it's just really pretty and clean. And you don't see any clothes hanging. So that's kind of, people are liking that look too. Just a very clean look. They don't have to even look at their clothes. So that's kind of like I think that's like some of the big trends that's going on.
Yeah. What about like hidden doors and stuff like that? Are you seeing any of that? Like hidden rooms or hidden access to?
I haven't did hidden doors yet. We did a champagne bell once. I mean, that was something different. Yeah. For a house, because you can hit the champagne that goes to the kitchen and the kitchen person can now come bring, we did that before. I haven't did the hidden doors yet.
Need champagne while you're putting on your shoes, that's when, yeah.
Exactly.
You need a bell to bring, yeah, that's crazy. We're doing some hidden door stuff now. I have one closet that we're doing where it's actually going to be hidden by shelving, and then you go back into a safe room type deal to a /storage room. So we're we're seeing a little bit more of that starting to
Starting to
trend where
happen. Okay.
they want some hidden spaces where people don't know and so on. So, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
That's really cool. I'm sure I'm going to start seeing some of it eventually as
Oh
people,
yeah,
because they're coming out the woodworks with ideas, some new things all the time.
it's Pinterest. It's Pinterest. Trust
It
me, I
is. It's the world of Pinterest. I'm like, what are you saying? Well, can you wrap it? I'm like, okay, let me see what I can do. Like,
yeah, all the
I'm like,
pictures.
Pinterest make you think you can just do anything. You're like, God, like let's make this happen.
We deal with it too in the custom end too, especially like built-in cabinetry stuff like that. We get the Pinterest pictures all the time. Can you do a built-in entertainment center like this? I want my ceiling details to look like this. Can you make this look? And we do it. I mean, we got a really good trim carpenter, and he'll look at a picture. We'll kind of, work on it together and dimensions and all that too. And obviously have the architect draw it up as much as he can and have them approve it. But good old Pinterest. Yeah, that's
You know, I even had a client that wanted her island, but with leather, a leather topping. Instead of
oh,
marble, she
yeah.
wanted it in leather. And then the drawer front's leather. And I was like, okay, we can do this. We'll
We'll
get
make
it
it
done.
work.
Don't worry. But I'm just saying, like, they have all kind of ideas.
Yeah, yeah, and you're gonna see more and more and more, and that's the power of the internet, right? So,
Yes.
what do you find most challenging about designing a closet? What have you found most challenging overall?
I think overall, if the client has too many clothes for the space that they're asking for, and even if you come up with the most functional, design for them, it still won't hold all their stuff. So I'm noticing that I have to have solutions like, okay, did you edit this closet before? Did we streamline everything? Maybe we need to go through things, make sure this is it. Or do you have another closet? We can store some things in a second closet. So I think it's a challenge when they have like so many clothes, but the space is really small. And I'm just like, how am I going to fit all of this? Even if I double hang, triple hang this, there's no way this is going to fit in this space. And they think that you're magic, like you're a magician, like just make it happen. I'm like, I only can make it happen within the space that you're giving me. But sometimes I just like, you designer, design, do it. And I
Yeah,
was like, okay, I'm really trying here, but this is just doesn't, the
gonna
physics
need
in
a
this
little
doesn't make
help,
sense.
yeah.
Exactly. I
But
think that's like I think that's the hardest thing, the challenge about designing. It's just trying to make the customer happy and still give a great design, at the same time.
yeah, and that's where your communication comes in though too. I'm sure you're like you've said too, is you're kind of listening to them, and that's important. Obviously, taking notes, listening, hearing what they really want, and then having to, for them to give you the full reins too. That's trust. I mean, they're putting their trust in you. You obviously know what you're doing. You specialize in it. And I mean, I'd be the same way. I'd just let you go at it because I mean, I'm sorry to say, I don't know what
Yes.
I'd kind of give you an idea or something, but I'm just, yeah, make it nice, make it organized. I've seen your stuff and I trust you and go for it. That's, and that's why you're getting paid to do what you're doing and you've been successful at it too. So, it's
Yeah.
just, it's all about communication too. And that seems to be the theme of this show with everybody in their customer service and everything too. We all know how to communicate with the customer as well and listen to them. Listening's huge.
Listen. I think listening is the number one skill you have to have. Like really listen. Because if you really just pay attention and listen to what they're saying, you will really understand what the needs are and you'll be able to execute the project for sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
Instead of talking over them, or because sometimes you're creative, like I'm very creative. So when you're saying something, my mind is already going to the
Yeah,
next level. Like,
the same way.
so I even had to learn like Taiece, listen.
Yeah.
Like, just listen,
Yeah.
okay? Stop letting your creative juices are starting to flow, and you're like, you just want to keep rambling off. And I'm just so I have learned through my journey of to listen. It's so important.
It really is. I mean, I'm the same exact way as you. I used to, when people are talking, I want to kind of say what I want to say, my opinion on it and so on. But when you actually sit back, let them finish, let them hear out what they got to say, and then that actually helps you and your understanding, and especially in a home. They're spending so much money in designing closets too. It's just they're spending the money they are to get a finalized product that they want. So it takes listening to the client, and I say with real estate, I'm in real estate as well, and if I didn't, I have a guy that works underneath me, and I always tell him, I go, if you're not listening to a buyer, I was like, you're gonna run around like crazy and show them 20 houses, and you're never gonna find them the right one. But if you actually sit and listen to their wants and needs and the important factors, you can
Mhm.
narrow it down to about 2 to 3 houses, so you're not running around like crazy. And that's most real estate agents problems too. They just show buyer whatever they want instead of kind of listening and showing them and telling them what they need to see as
Right.
well. So, and that's in any business,
Yeah, definitely.
even in yours too. I mean, sometimes like they give you the reins, obviously they say, yeah, you go for it too, but they're going to want something. You just have to get it out of them.
Right. No, for sure. And I always like to do two designs too. When I'm designing, I
There
always
you go.
give two options because I kind of know what you said you like, but I also kind of know what you need. So I'm going to give you both. And that's where, normally they can pick one. Like it kind of works like that. So I just start doing two designs every time. It's kind of what you want with a splash of what I know, and then what I feel like you really need in the space. And then sometimes we use one or the other. Sometimes we combine a little bit of both into making one perfect one.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely makes sense too. What are some things you're doing to stand out from other closet designers in your area? What should people take notice of when choosing a closet designer?
Definitely you want somebody that's experienced. You want somebody that you can go and see some of their work, that they have their website. You want their testimonies from some of their clients or, pictures of their work, definitely. And also, like, if they're working with the closet company or whoever they're working with as far as manufacturing, you want to make sure that they have warranties, that they have,
Yeah.
a good installation team, that this closet company that they're working with is credible and that they have really good standings out. So, you definitely, most important, you need to find somebody that you can trust. And so trust is always built on either your testimonies or your work or your pictures or something like that to kind of know. But definitely don't forget about warranties are so important. The company's manufacturer, like whoever they're working with, I'm independent designers, have to work with somebody to build the actual closet. So you
Hmm.
still want to make sure that whoever I'm working with are good and know what they're doing as well.
Yeah, and everything's in line the way it should be, and so on too is so
Yeah.
important too. What are you giving for warranty? What should people, if somebody is doing a custom closet, not just with you but somewhere else, what should they expect warranty wise?
Well, we normally, the companies I normally work with, manufacture, they normally do lifetime warranties on closets, pretty
Okay,
much. Like if they put the closet in, and long as something happens, they pretty much give lifetime warranties.
that's
I
good
would,
to
I
know.
mean, you definitely want, you make it such a high end investment, and it shouldn't be. You normally don't have problems with your closet once it's installed and it's done.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, you're not going to have a big problem, but it may be something the drawer doesn't function right or is not pulling out right now. You want to be able to be at peace and say, oh, I could just call the company, they'll bring me a new drawer or a new this. So you definitely want a long warranty, especially when you're spending 30, 40, $50,000 in a closet.
Hmm.
It's not cheap. So you definitely, it's like when you have a car. I know cars only like 5 year warranty though, but definitely longer than 5 years. For sure.
And with a closet, yeah, it is. I mean, it's pretty structured in place and so on. You might have little things here and there, but you shouldn't be
Yeah,
having
I've
major
never had
issues.
any big complaints after I've done closets. It's little things. It could be something of the drawer. It's very little things that I've ever had clients and maybe once every blue moon come back and say it's not functioning right, but it's fixed right away and then it's done. So yeah, there's not a lot of big things that normally should happen. If something's going to happen, it's going to happen during installation.
Yeah.
You're going to see the wrong color or the wrong hole design or something like that. Then you'll notice like something, the hole in your wall or something. Okay, that's when you'll find out anything's happening. But once it's installed and everything looks good, normally you're only going to have minor, if any, things that might come up. Yeah.
Hmm. And that's where you come in when things are falling apart. You hold it together, right?
And I hold it together because you have me for a lifetime too. You can just
There you
text
go.
me, call me, email me. I could have helped you 5 years ago. And if you call me and say, Taiece, this is happening, I'm going to take care of it for
I'm the same way. I'm the same way. You got to do that with business. What do you? getting into like going back to kind of your beginning stage too. So when you're doing your drawings, are they 3D renderings? Are they how are you doing your drawing end of it
3D
too?
render.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
backing up a little bit here because I was just thinking of this off the top of my head because obviously this is just kind of a show helping people and clients know what to look for and especially with your business too. So you're doing 3D, they're kind of able to see how everything's going to be laid out and so on as well.
Yeah, they're able, can I pull up a design? I will show you. But yeah, so they're 3D design and they have this all broken down, everything that's used in the closet for the prices. And then it has the finishes, whatever doors are used, and knobs, and at the end it gives you your total at the end. And you can actually see 3D, and then you can also see an overview, and then you also
Okay.
see a picture of each individual wall. So you see three different ways:
Oh
the
wow.
3D, the overview, and then wall A, wall B, each wall
Hmm.
individually, what's on that wall. So you're able to really look, really get a good grasp of how your closet's going to look. Yeah.
And then as far as pricing wise too, I'm not going to ask you ever, your price on it because I know it varies. Trust me, being in the custom home building world, the question that it drives me crazy is how much are you per square foot? I don't know until I know exactly what you want and your plan and so on. So I get
Yeah.
that every day. But and I'm sure you do too. On average, like how do you compete with somebody like how would you sell yourself because I got to do it every day in my business. How would you sell yourself to somebody that is just shopping price versus actual quality of product? How do you get around that? Because obviously you have less expensive or cheaper options out there, and these people probably, you hear that all the time too. Well, this person is this much, why are you this much? You know what I
Right.
mean? So how do you get around that?
So I try to price match. I couldn't because I work with manufacturers that'll do price
Gotcha.
matching. If the closet that they are getting though, it has to be the same exact design, the same products. Like it has to be like really, and it has to be from a credible company. It can't
Gotcha.
be from the handyman giving you a print and then you saying he said he's gonna do it for this price and you said you're gonna do it for that price. No, it's not gonna work. It has to be from a credible company. You come with the quote. If it looks just like the design that I designed for you, I can beat it by I try to beat it for like $100 to go under.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I try to do something like that. But 9 times out of 10, it's like who I'm working with is better quality. It's higher. It's better quality. So you already kind of know why it's cheaper. But I do try to help. Just try to be competitive in the market as well. You don't want to
Yeah.
lose out on certain things. So if they find somebody that is the same design, then we will try to price match it.
Yeah, and what I got out of that too is you're not willing to cut your quality because you're not going to go to the lower end. I mean, it's like with building too. I mean, obviously you get what you pay for, hands
Right.
down. And
Right.
you're giving a quality finished product that's going to last. It's going to look good and it's going to make people smile and be happy and wake up and be happier because they're organized. So
Exactly.
and that's the thing
Stress-free
too.
living. We're offering stress-free living right here.
That's what you want, that's the thing too. Is like I preach on because I get it all the time. Why are you priced here and this guy's priced here? And then when I got to explain, every builder, the way I look at it too, and it's probably in your field too. Everybody says they build the best product, they can do the best thing too. But if you can actually showcase your product and why it's actually better, that's why I'm doing that. I do meet online video stuff like that. You're doing video as well. It is, that's what stands out, and keeping clean job sites, so on and so on. But you get what you're paid for. I'm a firm believer in that in the long run too. And we're always going to get people that nickel and dime us. That's business. We're not
Yes.
meant to work with everybody. uh
Yeah.
but you sell a quality product, and obviously they're getting you in return too. What you're doing. Like we talked about too, I can tell how organized everything is behind you with the shelves and everything.
Yes.
You want,
Clutter-free. I'm always on my Instagram. Clutter-free living. That's
yeah.
my slogan.
Well, if it was like a bomb went off behind you, I'd question hiring you, for somebody.
You're like, what are you you get organized when I see a pile of clothes behind you.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so it's just like it's no different than going to a builder. They got a clean office, everything's organized and so on, versus that builder with papers, blueprints scattered all over. You know,
Right.
it's just a disaster went off. You can see the different types of builders, who's going to have the clean job site, who's going to be more meticulous to every detail. It's the same thing with you. So that's so important when picking, you know, somebody to work with as well. So, um, going into some personal questions too. I always like to do this to wrap this up. We're almost at an hour too, but what about? I love this question. I get a different answer every single time. What about you personally? What lessons have you learned throughout your journey that we should all apply to our own business or lives that can help us grow? Deep
So many
question.
lessons. So many lessons. But this has been a journey.
Let's hear them. Let's hear 'em.
Definitely, I would say patience. I think sometimes we get that we want things to happen overnight and it's not happening fast enough, and we lose patience and we get discouraged. So I would tell anyone in business, entrepreneurship, whatever it is, have patience. Definitely consistency pays off. So definitely be consistent in everything you do. Be a person of your word. I'm a big person that if I say I'm going to do something, then do it. In business, it means so much for you to be a person of your word. And I've learned, like, when I work with people that are not, it's just, it doesn't leave like a good feeling. So yeah, always be a person of your word. I think that I just learned how to, I'm trying to put, I have so much in my journey that I've learned.
Let it
But
hit.
I was, yeah, I'm just trying to, I'm like, I have so many lessons. But definitely follow your heart, like, on things. I think a lot of times we're bombarded with social media and people and pulling you left and right and every which way, and we kind of need to just like focus on what we need to do and just really, stay tunneled to what our goal is and what we're trying to accomplish, and do what feels good to us, and not try to um what's the word, appeal to everyone, because sometimes everyone is not for you.
Yeah.
You kind of learn, like, the people who maybe don't follow you no more, whatever the situation is, don't take it so personal. It just means that they're not aligned in what you are and who you are, and that's okay, because we're not for everybody. Stay flexible, learn how to pivot, and you will be fine. Like, I think being flexible, for me, I've always been like that. I've always been very flexible in my movements. I always have a goal, but I always stay flexible in my goal. And then I will pivot when needed, when necessary, and don't really dwell on it. It's like, once I feel like I need to pivot, I just pivot, and then I just keep going. So I think that too is really a great way to grow. Just stay flexible. Don't get so caught up in how you thought it was supposed to go, because sometimes it's going to take you in curves
Yeah.
before it gets to your actual goal.
I love that. You're so spot on too. I 100% agree with you. It's more. It is true. It's true. The consistency part obviously is true, and being a person of your word is always no doubt true too. Because people respect that, and then too they can see it. They can tell if you're lying to them. They can tell, if you say one thing and you do another too. It just puts a bad taste in people's mouth.
Yeah,
We've learned that growing up, but you with saying with your goal and moving forward too, and not looking back, and if you have something in mind, you're going to do it. That's a separator right there. That's a huge separator of you from a lot of people, unfortunately, but that's where you're helping people too. I mean, in your journey, you are helping people, obviously, with this show. People that are listening, of what your answer was right there, it's probably going to help a few people that were stuck in a rut or trying to think of where they should go in business too. If you're looking backwards all the time and worrying about what everybody else thinks, you're going to be stuck in the same place your whole entire life.
yeah,
And it's like you said, not everybody's meant to go along with you on your journey. And with social media, a lot of people are seeing your journey, and that's fine. That's what social media is all about. But the ones that don't like it, they don't need to watch your journey. You can leave them
exactly.
in the dust.
Right. I think we get caught up like, oh my gosh, she doesn't like me. It doesn't matter. Stop
No.
worrying about who likes you, who doesn't like you. Just stay true to yourself, and the right people will gravitate to you.
Hmm.
It's just all in your energy. It's what you put out, what you put in. It's the same like the universe. You put something great out and you're a good person, believe me, 100%, you're going to get good things back, and you're going to get great people in your life, great opportunities, and everything.
And that's the thing, like that's why I have this podcast, because I've met a lot of great people like yourself too, and you know, me and you might work together in the future. Who knows? That's the thing, and it is true though. Is like I was on a live thing today that me and you talked about this a little bit before we started recording, and it was all about social media and how I've utilized social media for my brand and business. But what's stopping people, you know? And we've all been through it. You've been through it.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
been through it. To
for
where
sure.
we were hesitant to hit the record button, or you're about to do live stuff tomorrow. And I mean,
That was me.
yeah, and me too. And you know, I recorded. I remember my first video I did. I think I had the guy, you know, a guy that works with me. I always have him record my stuff. And I think I had him do like 15, 20 takes before I finally, you know, just put something out there. And that's what one of the questions was to me was, you know, how did you do it? I said, we're all nervous. I mean, everybody listening out there, yeah, you're nervous. I was just as nervous as you. You know, you were just as nervous as me. And when you finally start doing it and you get that repetition, and actually, you don't really care. You don't really care
Right.
what people think. You're just doing it. You know, you're helping people. And then you see a lot more positive doing it than negative anyway, you know, because I get
Yeah.
random people that come up to me and they're like, hey, I had a guy that I talked to today. He's like, I saw your Facebook stuff, man. It's great. I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, thanks. You know, it's like,
I know. You never know who you're impacting. I get DMs all the time. People saying, I just want to tell you, I don't even know you, but I love you. I think you're beautiful. I think I love what you put. I love your
mhm.
all your quotes and your motivation. And those kind of things are like, wow. Like just to get people that you don't even really know personally, but to send you just like keep going, you know, you're doing great. Is like you're okay. You're on the right page.
Mhm.
And another thing is the best result you're going to get in life, I think now, is living outside of your comfort zone.
Oh yeah.
I think I've grown the most when I was outside my comfort zone. Like different opportunities or something would happen bigger and better for me because I took a chance and did something that I didn't really feel comfortable doing. You know,
Mhm.
just kind of what you were saying, just step out and do it, you know, and
You
then you
have
start getting,
to.
but you're going to have to be uncomfortable. That's just where growth lies. It lies when you're uncomfortable. And so when people understand that, they won't be such in a fear to keep going. You know, just like, oh, this is okay. I can feel uncomfortable. I'm a little nervous, but this means I'm growing. So let me go ahead and do this. And then once
Mhm.
it's done, you're like, oh, this wasn't
That
that
wasn't that
bad.
bad.
Oh God. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I mean, you are 100% right, and that's the thing. When you finally get uncomfortable, or when you do the uncomfortable thing, and then you're like, "It's not that bad." Well, you want to keep doing more too. You don't want to just stay, and that's what levels you up and builds you up too. You know, there's always
Yes.
going to be an uncomfortable situation. I have them every day. Like doing that live today, I was like, was I a little uncomfortable before? Yes. I was like, okay, I'm going to be in front of how many people, you know, because he's got a popular building show on there. But once you start going, you're like, this isn't that bad. You don't really notice how many people are watching. Then you're like answering questions. It's normal.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like this
Yeah.
podcast. I was hesitant to do this. And I always say this. I don't like, probably won't listen to my first episode. I can only imagine how bad it is, you know, but it's come a long way with growth, 83 episodes in, or however much I'm in, and just the people I've met along the way too. But just jumping in and doing something, that's the best approach to it. So, yeah, I
Yes,
love your answer on
definitely. I'll be in your shoes tomorrow on my live, so
that.
I'll let you know how it goes. I'm like, oh gosh.
Yeah, yeah, let me know. They're fun. I mean, once you do them, I got to do more of them. I haven't really jumped into the whole live thing. I'll go on them, you know, but
Right.
personally, I mean, the guy I was on today, he's like, you got to do it. You don't have to edit as much. You don't have to. You just
You don't.
they just launch, and I was like, he goes, it saves you a lot of time. I'm like, maybe I should just start
Yes, there's no
popping.
editing. You just save it, and whatever happened on it happened.
Yeah, there's no turning back.
There's no turning back. So just get ready. I've been interviewed on a few lives, so I've been the person being interviewed, but this time I'm interviewing
Yeah,
people, so it's a
see.
different ball game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always different on the opposite end too. Like usually I'm the one interviewing like this podcast, but being on the interview side of it too, it's always different too. But you learn, you grow from each experience, like we said too, and you get better every day and you meet new people along the way. And help
Yeah.
people and get more customers. That's what it's all
Exactly. And
about.
because people want to relate to you. So I think when you're in front of video and you're talking and they can kind of see who you are and kind of
Mhm.
they feel more comfortable with you seeing you on video. So I think it is important to have some sort of video presence out here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, they basically learn who you are before they meet you, and if they don't like you from your video, they're probably not gonna meet you, which is gonna save you some time as well. So,
Exactly.
it's a good way to
Exactly.
look at it, but, one other question I always ask everybody is most people talk about your past, let's talk about your future. Where will we see Taiece in 5, 10, 15 years from now? Who will you be?
Oh, I'll probably be sitting on the beach in Bali drinking
There
margarita.
you go. I'm
Exactly.
jealous.
Look, that's probably what I see my future at on my
Yeah, I hope
computer.
you and me both, right?
Exactly. A nomad lifestyle. That's what I
Yeah.
see in the future.
Yeah, that's what we all want.
Yeah, exactly. No, but to answer the question, really, I don't normally like plan my life. I'm very spontaneous and free spirit, so I kind of don't plan too far in the future. But what I will say is I love to travel. So I know I'll as soon as COVID is kind of in the better. I used to travel a lot. So I'm definitely gonna travel a lot. I'm definitely gonna be designing, wherever I'm at, because I can pretty much design anywhere, any city, any country. So I definitely will be designing and just doing what I love. I love exploring and meeting new people and communication. So it might be a YouTube TV show. It might be another, I don't know. Like, I just know it's going to be something that I love. It's going to have something to do with communication and travel.
There you go. Can't beat that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we will see you on a YouTube show or something like that. I've watched your YouTube. It's pretty good. I mean, you just start your YouTube channel
Yeah, I
recently?
haven't really started doing the shows part. I just did a few videos, but I want to start
Pretty
doing
good.
like actual in my clients' closets, doing the whole like showing you around. I really want to start doing like turns like a real TV show. It would be great. But we'll
Yeah.
see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. And people want to see that though. They want to see you in
Yeah, like
action
tours,
there,
like closet
the
tours. I would love to like
process.
start touring. I should have done it a long time ago. I just wasn't in the space. But now I'm in that space where I feel like my next thing is I just love people. I love communicating. I just think I'll be great, like doing tours of my clients, showcasing their favorite handbag and shoes, and showcasing all the different elements in the closet. I think it'd be great, and just traveling and doing that in different countries, different states. It could be something that in my future.
People would watch it. Trust me. You'll be, and I'd watch it too, because people are amazed by what you do and what like the housing in general. People they want to know. They want to know how they can, like that's about this podcast too, and all the different things you've said too. If you put that into reality in video format, so they could actually see those storage spaces and how to save. You maybe do a lower end budget storage space too. You should do stuff like that. Oh,
Yeah.
you'll kill it
I've
with
been
that.
thinking about that too. Like, I want to do high end and just for the person that doesn't
Yeah,
have the investment money, that they just want to have some changes. So those type of things definitely in the near future I want to start doing for sure.
looking forward to that for sure. Yeah, so because people will watch it 100%, so it'll definitely be a good thing for you, I'm sure. Last question: what the show's about to wrap things up? What exactly do people need to look for when hiring a closet designer, and why should they choose Taiece Lanier as their designer of choice?
Oh, they should choose Taiece Lanier because she's fabulous. No, not really. No, because I'm very passionate about design. I have tons of experience. I can pretty much walk into a closet and just already design your closet in 2 seconds.
Yeah,
I already kind of see where things go. So I'm just really detailed, and I'm just really a people person, and I love design, and I know how to give you what you're looking for, how to maximize your space and make sure it's functional and it works for you. So that would be a good part of working with me. And also, I'm actually a stylist and an organizer. So if you need me to edit through your closet first, kind of stuff that you don't need and you can donate out. If you need help with your style, you need to bring some clothes in and maybe to have a more functional closet that you can have interchangeable wardrobe instead of having so many clothes. You just need less clothes, but the right clothes. And that's the big thing too. You wouldn't need so much space if you didn't have so many clothes that you don't even wear. So,
true.
I'm kind of that one-stop shop. I can, pretty much consult you in 3 or 4 different areas, so you can have like that really complete experience.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people out there that have clothes that they don't wear that are just hanging in their closet. I'm one of them,
There
believe
is.
it.
Do you know how many bags? Like I had a client recently in LA. She got rid of 15 bags of clothes and shoes that she no longer wanted or wore. 15
Wow.
bags. It's
Wow.
insane. Yeah. So people are getting rid of a lot of stuff. And I think that's almost like the first move I try to do in the process is, have you edited through your closet? Because if not, we need to set up a session, or you can do it yourself, but that needs to be done before the closet even gets installed. Because are you going to bring your clothes that you don't wear into your new space? That doesn't make sense. You need to have only what you actually wear and love in your closet. And so that's like what I preach all the time. Like, don't bring old stuff that you don't wear in a new space. You spend all this money and investment, and then you have all these clothes that you don't even care about. So
You're making me want to go through my closet and start
you're gonna have to
going
go
through
through your closet after this call, and because
my
I'm gonna be like your
socks,
little
my
fairy, the little fairy on top of your ear saying, "You know you don't wear that."
You're not wearing that. You haven't worn that in a while. It's gonna be like, Bill, come on, get rid of that. Okay.
Exactly. Go in there and donate those clothes and shoes that you don't wear anymore.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Taiece, this has been awesome. I really do appreciate you coming on. This has been great. A lot of great information too. One thing, where can people connect with you, find you, social media wise, anywhere else?
You can find me on my website at closeteditors.com or any social media, Instagram, Twitter, at Closet Editors.
Awesome. Awesome. This has been great. Like I said, I was excited to have you on. It was a great topic to hit on because it is very important to a lot of people too, especially in the world we're living in today where a lot of people are at home. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of listeners going through their closet like myself.
Yes, and I did a good job. We get everyone to go in their closet, and we did a great show.
You made me think about it, and I'm the host here. So, if I'm thinking about it, I'm sure the listener's thinking about it. So, thank you for coming
Yes.
on, though, and taking the
Thank you
time
for
today.
having me. It's been
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. And everybody listening, I really appreciate you all listening. 5 stars as usual. That's all I ask for. I don't advertise. Please like, subscribe, give me 5 stars on iTunes, and I will see you guys on the next episode.